So you're thinking about moving to Canton, Michigan. Well, in this video, I'm gonna give you a tour of my $1.3 million listing in Canton Township, and we're gonna do all of that starting right now. So welcome, this is the Living in Detroit channel, and like I said, today we are in Canton Township. I'm very excited to give you this home tour behind me. Not only is it a beautiful house, but it happens to be our listing here at the Talbot team. I'm absolutely thrilled to take you through this property. Also, I want to show you the community itself, the neighborhood pools right next door, some of the other houses in this area to see if this would be a good house for you if you're thinking about moving to Canton Township. Also, stay for the end of the video. We want to give you a tour of Cherry Hill Village, which is a couple blocks from here, and some of the other features that Canton has to offer if you're thinking about moving to this part of town. So before I jump into things, where is Canton Township? For those of you who don't know, Canton is a suburb of Detroit. It sits about halfway, a little bit over halfway between Ann Arbor and Detroit. From this particular property, you're about 20 to 25 minutes to Ann Arbor, and about 30 to 35 minutes to downtown Detroit. Also, being not far from Michigan Ave and Ford Road, you can easily jump on the expressway and be at Detroit Metropolitan Airport within about 15-20 minutes. That's one of the reasons why Canton Township is so sought out. A lot of clients that move to this area want to easily be able to get to downtown Detroit. Sometimes the spouse works in Ann Arbor, and you have this very central location. It is Plymouth Canton Schools, which is a very sought out school district as well too. And this sub is Westridge Estates. So if you're thinking about moving to the area, Westridge Estates typically sells anywhere from 700 to really like that 1.4 range potentially on a listing like this. So this happens to be our listing on the team. We're very excited to sell this house. I want to show you not only the appointments of this house and some of the different stuff that has gone into it, but also what the current seller has done along the way. So they bought this house a couple years ago. It was a model, and since then they've done a lot of different updates. So I think you'll really enjoy the property. And for those of you that want to move to Canton, I think this video will show you what you can get for over $1 million in Canton Township. Let's go ahead and get inside. So before we jump inside, this model is a Duke model originally through Toll Brothers Homes. So a lot of people moving from across the country. Toll Brothers is one of the biggest builders in the country. They build all across the country. And so a lot of people have seen this model. There's some very unique features of the Duke model. Specifically in my head, when I think about the Duke model, is this crazy primary suite, which we'll show you in a minute. But before we jump into that, I do like the front porch. You have a good sized front porch, obviously plenty of room for seating. And we're gonna give you a tour of the exterior, show you some B-roll. But this particular seller went above and beyond to really do quite a bit in landscaping. There's over $200,000 in landscaping and brick pavers, additional walls in back. There's an absolute beautiful lanai. I mean, there's a lot of things happening from an exterior perspective as well too. So we'll show you the backyard at the end. Let's jump inside. But before we did that, I want to show you this front porch of this Duke model because it's a very hard option to find. Welcome. I'm like giddy to do this video for you guys. Very excited about listing this property. We actually sold it to the seller a few years ago. It was the model and it was a competitive situation. So multiple people have bidded for this house. Last time around when they purchased it, the seller had a little bit change of plan. So they're moving to the other side of town. They want to list the property. But since then, they've done like a lot of renovations. So it's just a really fun house to market, in my opinion. Like I said, in Canton Township. I think this will be like the tip top of Canton Township for the year as far as trophy type listings and best listings. And we have the lucky opportunity and the goodwill to be able to list it. So walking in the foyer here, huge 2-story foyer. I love the fixtures throughout this house. Like I was saying out front, originally it was the builder's model. So there was a lot of bells and whistles, a lot happening in this home when they purchased it. And since then they've done some additional updates, which I'll show you as we're walking through. Wider plank floors. This is a formal sitting area. Again, tons of furniture in here and still is very spacious in my opinion. Trim work throughout. I love the wainscoting throughout as well too. Formal dining. I mean, this table's big, this furniture's big, and you still have plenty of room. You can do a bigger table if you want, but again, it's laid out appropriately in my opinion. Updated fixtures. If you look at the additional accent walls as well too, that was all done as part of the builder model as well. Additional trim work. This is not what you're gonna get in a typical builder's grade home, even with the Toll Brothers type house, okay? A lot of people, I have a client right now, they're very specifically looking for this catwalk. I wish they're looking in Canton because I'd love to sell them this house as well within their budget. The catwalk is a nice feature. I love the runner on the staircase. I think that was added after the fact. And you roll right into this great room, which is a 2-story great room. If you bounce over to the left first, Nick, you have your cloak closet here, and this is your half bath on the first floor. This was all renovated by the current seller. So new vanity, new tile. I love the look. We had the lucky opportunity of selling them their previous house before this house, and they also did that one up too. I wish every seller was like this. It's just so much fun. They obviously take a lot of passion into making their house beautiful and continuing to do additional updates outside of your standard features. So big study / office here. The cabinets and built-ins are obviously all permanent. I love this layout. The wallpaper is really cool in my opinion. And again, hardwood floors throughout the entire first floor as well too. Moving into the great room, stone fireplace is gorgeous. Since they moved in, they updated the fixture up top, which is a beautiful fan, added additional lighting as well too, so you get a lot of light in this great room, and gives you a little bit different feel for that type of setup. So more lighting cannot be a bad thing for a lot of different reasons, and so they went ahead and added that too. I also love the beams. The beams are really hard to beat. It adds an additional flavor to this house, which is already well appointed in so many different ways. So onto the kitchen here. You have an additional breakfast nook right off the kitchen. They have it set up as a table here. And this island itself, I forgot the dimensions. I think it's like 12 feet or 11 feet. This was not the standard island that came with even the model home for Toll Brothers. So they tore that out and put in this additional island. I mean, it's massive. The layout's fantastic. I love the tile work. I love the white kitchen. And again, the fixtures are beautiful. Everything really flows seamlessly and has a very good vibe, in my opinion. This house, although has been renovated in the last couple of years, it really matches everything that was already here as well too. I don't know which way to go, Nick. I think this way. So you have another sitting area, kind of sunroom. I'm going to save the outside towards the end of the tour for sure, because there's a lot going on out there. We'll have that be its own section of the video, but I love the sitting area as well too. And then you kind of flow over to some other renovations that they did. So they have this set up as a coffee bar / drink station. They have the ice maker over here. This is all custom done. So the vanity, you have a quartz countertop. I love the backsplash. It's a very interesting product. It's a very cool product. And I love the design work with the wood and bringing it all together. I mean, this is such a cool feature, and this is done after the fact. You can't get that through Toll. As well as this mudroom. So they took down some walls and opened it up a little bit in here. Have a beautiful mudroom. I love the black, as well as a huge walk-in pantry set up for your liking, right? So lots of different snacks and all that type of stuff. You have some storage. Again, another stone countertop in here as well too, and a very flavorful paint job to bring it all together. The design work is great. The updates are great. Everything really flows well and seems very seamless, even though some of this work was done after the fact. So before we jump into the finished basement and the back porch / lanai, let's jump upstairs and show you one of my favorite pieces of this entire house. So here on the second floor, we're standing on the catwalk. I wanna save the best for last, and that's the primary suite of this one. But I love this layout with the catwalk because of the woodwork, because of the additional work that they did. I mean, this foyer is like next level. It is something that I think is a super rare find. You don't see this in a lot of houses. That type of finish work is fantastic, and it really feels cool even from the upstairs to be able to enjoy it when walking down this catwalk. So first and foremost, this is Jack and Jill. Big bedrooms here. I don't have the exact dimensions off the top of my head, but this is a big bedroom. Obviously, you have 2 beds in here. I love the additional, finishes that they did in here as well too. Nice paint, good carpet. You have a decent sized closet over here with the built-ins, and then you're gonna go Jack and Jill. So moving over, before you roll into the other side, you have the shared bathroom, stone countertops, vanity, shower tub set up for the kids, and bedroom number 2 upstairs. This was the model, so they actually had to do some renovations, even though it seems kind of simple in here. They had it kind of completely decked out. I think it was like a race car or something, if I remember correct. Oh no, it was like a soccer floor with like turf and like soccer balls and everything. So the current owner wanted to kind of remove some of that and make it more, have it make more sense for their lifestyle and their current family. So that was recently renovated to a very classic look. And then walking back across to the other side of the house, before we jump into the primary, which is one of my favorite features, you have a princess suite, which is ensuite in here. Love the window treatments, love the wallpaper as well too. A very clean feel, a very classic feel in my opinion, classic / modern, where this is gonna be a timeless type room. And it is a princess suite / ensuite, so you do have your full bath. Granite stone tops here. If you open up the shower curtain, all tile all the way up. And again, matching the wallpaper from the bedroom as well too, brings it all together. So Before we jump into the primary, so second floor laundry is definitely one of those features that is a personal preference. We see it a lot more in newer construction. I like it, especially if you have a gang of kids and stuff like that. You're gonna be upstairs, all the clothes are gonna be upstairs. Might as well keep it all on one floor, not have to take it downstairs. But some people do like, you know, their laundry in the basement or other floors. It can be a preference-based thing. I think most of the newer construction homes have it. I think it's a beautiful feature. So, before we jump in to my favorite portion of the upstairs, this is a very rare find. And like I said, this is a Duke model through Toll Brothers. And for those of you who don't know, the reason why it's the Duke, or where my head goes to, because we sold a few of these homes, is this massive primary suite. It is truly a wing of the house. So obviously you have your main sleeping space here. If you walk over with me, Nick, you have your own sitting area. You have the TV set up and the built-ins are permanent. Beautiful tray ceilings, beautiful trim work throughout. The crown molding's great. That's throughout the entire primary. And then this is where I think it's absolutely awesome. You have the step down, the area to get ready, stone countertops, built-ins here for your makeup station. Then 1, 2, 3 large walk-in closets. So we'll get some B-rolls of those. They have built-ins throughout here as well too. I mean, the list goes on and on as far as this primary. Wallpaper is really, really cool. Then you roll into the primary suite. Bathroom, 2 sides of sinks. If you're walk-in shower, obviously huge tub behind me. And again, good sized ceilings in here as well too. So when you count this like total square footage of this wing of the house for your primary suite or owner suite, I mean, it's a very, very rare find. So when a lot of people talk about the Duke model for Toll Brothers, they've done a fantastic job building this house out. So you're about 4,500 square feet, but if you think about the massive 2-story foyer, the massive 2-story great room, as well as this primary suite on the second floor, the layout just feels huge. I mean, this feels like a 5,000-6,000 square foot house easy because of the layout itself. The actual footprint of this house is massive, and that's how you're able to get such a big primary suite upstairs, as well as the 2-story foyer, great room, huge downstairs as well too. So before we jump outside and show you all that beautiful landscaping, let's check out the basement, which of course it is finished. So fun basement, that's what I think of when I walk down here. I think it's a fun basement. You have a full bathroom behind Nick right at the bottom of the stairs here. So full shower, nice vanity in here. And then you have this big open layout of the basement. There's a storage room behind him, which is of good size as well too. Egress window for fire escape. Pool table, love this setup. If you really wanted to, you could wall this off and make an additional bedroom downstairs if you wanted to. So this could be a 5th bedroom if that fit your family's needs. There's technically 4 bedrooms up. It would have to be where the egress window is. And this flows over into, again, a fun basement. Granite countertops here, nice cabinetry throughout. You have your wine refrigerator. Love the layout of this basement. And again, it is a very formal feel. Drop ceiling down here. Sometimes you might see a drywalled ceiling compared to a drop ceiling. I like the drop ceiling for different reasons. There's pros and cons. Drywall sometimes gives a little bit different look. They did a good job with the lighting and the can lights, but this type of drop ceiling actually has a soundproofing to it, so it can allow you to be a little bit more rowdy downstairs and not disrupt people upstairs. So if the kids are playing down here, or if you want to party down here, open up the bottle of Dom, you can be a little bit louder and you're not going to disrupt the second floor. So I do like that. Good size main area as well too. And again, they finished this, but like I said, this is a big layout home. So there's a whole additional area that's currently for storage that you could add on to the finished space down here as well too. So this is massive in here. Obviously they're using it for storage. You could do a workout room over in the corner. There's tons of space in this storage room as well too, and 2 furnaces. So like I said, you're about 4,500 square feet, give or take, on this property. Typically you start seeing 2 furnaces here in Michigan at around 3,500 square feet, because you have a basement, a first floor, and a second floor. And usually when you're about 3,500 square feet is when you start to see that second furnace. So interesting fact, if you're moving from across the country, if you're moving from somewhere else in the country, here in Michigan, we do have the basement. So at 3,500 square feet, plus the additional 5,200 square feet down here, 4,500 square feet, plus the additional 2,200 to 2,500 square feet downstairs, you start getting into that 7,000 square foot, needing to be able to heat and air condition throughout. And so you end up with that second furnace. That's why you see 2 HVAC systems in a home like this. So that's a good point. I think it's about 2,000 or so square feet finished down here. On top of the 4,500 gives you 6,500 square feet of living space And that doesn't include the outdoor lanai back patio that I want to show you as well too, which is almost its own formal space. It's not all seasons because it does get cold in Michigan, but let's go ahead and jump outside and check that out. Before I do so, make sure you stay to the end. Don't just check out the exterior. I want to show you Cherry Hill Village, parts of Canton, so you can get a feel of the area if Canton Township is the area for you. Make sure to like and subscribe if this video is providing any value to you. If you are thinking about moving here to Michigan, hit our calendar link in YouTube and set up an appointment today. Welcome outside to this beautiful raised patio and covered pavilion. I think this is truly an extension of the home. The current seller did all this work recently. This just actually got finished up in recent time. And I think they did a fantastic job designing this particular portion of the home because it is an extension to the rest of the property. The grays and black match the interior. I love the wood trim. It gives some warm feels throughout, that warm feeling. This is kind of their staple. So I was fortunate enough to sell another home for this seller before, and the fan in the great room, the fan out here is basically kind of their staple as they do a lot of these updates. It kind of like matches their vibe in my opinion because the previous home had it as well too. They have a feel. They're really, really good at it. Every time people see their homes, this last house, this house, anytime Nick's walking through, everyone's always in awe. The sellers have done a fantastic job. So raised patio here, tons of stonework. As you can see, there's a lot of lighting throughout, and that's both back here as well as the front yard and the whole landscaping itself. So we're gonna actually work on getting some sunset shots for the listing itself. So if you're seeing this and you wanna purchase it, make sure you check out the listing because you're gonna see some of those sunset shots as well. So walking down, you sort of have two layers of this landscaping and of this back porch. Like I said, raised patio as well as a sunken raised patio as well as a sunken back patio as well too. These steps I think are so cool. The fact that you walk down to the natural fireplace, just kind of hang out back here. I need a bourbon and a cigar, a couple buddies, of course my beautiful wife. That'd be a nice add-on as well too, but come on, this is like an entertainer's dream back here. It's unreal. The step down is so cool to me. I love what they did with the landscaping throughout. Obviously you're set up for grilling. This particular seller does lots of entertaining. That's why they set it up this way. Now, the lot itself, we talked about this earlier, but this is one of the first lots in the subdivision, so it happens to sit right next to the neighborhood pool. This particular seller, when they were looking, they wanted to build a pool in their backyard, but I said, hey, what if we find you a house and it's right next to the neighborhood pool anyway? So you sort of get the best of both worlds. You get the gym next door, you get the pool right here, volleyball right behind you, so it's a very happening area if you're into entertaining. So it sits in an interesting part of the subdivision where you get the benefits, you don't have to walk far, and you also make this awesome oasis of a backyard your own along the way. So in conclusion of the backyard, you have tons of lighting throughout. We can't really see it because it's during the day right now. Beautiful layout when it comes to a lot of the landscaping, awesome trees that they put in, and they also regraded the backyard as well too to have it all make sense back here. So up next, I want to show you Cherry Hill Village, which is only seconds away. Cool little downtown area as well as parts of Canton. We also want to roll through the subdivision itself so you can see the idea of what other homes look like in this subdivision. Okay, so like I said, we want to give you a tour of Westridge Estates. This is one of, if not the premier estates here in Canton Township. You're right off Ridge Road. Cherry Hill is that way. I'm sorry, that way. Ford Road is that way. So you're really close to be able to get to Ford Road, all your shopping, all that good stuff. We're gonna show you Cherry Hill Village as well. Want to give you a tour of the sub. A couple hundred homes in the subdivision. Like I said, they really sell anywhere from 650, 700 to really that 1.3, which is the subject property. I believe this is probably the nicest house in the subdivision, if not one of the nicest, and definitely the nicest resale that ever happened. So Westridge Estates, great subdivision, community pool, community workout center, all that good stuff. There's some walking areas and walking sidewalks throughout as well. It's a great subdivision. We want to show you what the other houses look like here. And then we'll jump into Cherry Hill Village and one other surprise at the end. So stay tuned for the end of the video. So after just a short drive, we're in the heart of Cherry Hill Village. It's about half mile or less from Westridge Estates and the subject property just walked to. So Cherry Hill Village is a little mini village inside of Canton Township. So the township itself is 36 square miles. Cherry Hill Village is a nice to have sort of in the middle of town. You got a Cold Stone Creamery. There's some other stuff happening in town here. You got, eye doctors and massage therapy, a salon, all that good stuff in this part of town. So there's a few things happening right here. Kind of the benefit of being in this part of Cherry Hill Village. We have a full tour of Cherry Hill Village and some of the other price points in this part of town as well too. So if 1.3 isn't your price point, you're looking for something more in the 400s, 500s, 700s. We have a lot of different real estate options in this part of town here in Canton Township. Watch that Cherry Hill Village video. I think really appreciate that. It's here on our Living in Detroit channel. So we're right in the thick of it here, Cherry Hill Village, Ridge Road, Ridge Road and Cherry Hill Road, right in the center of town here. It's a good nice to have. You can walk here from Westridge Estates, some things happening. I forgot about the theater behind me, so they have the Village Theater as well too. Come see a show right in town here. And the last but not least, we have one more stop I want to show you up the street, only about another mile and a half from here as well too, to kind of show you the center of town and what Canton Township's all about. Thanks for staying to the end of the video. For those of you moving to town and want to learn more about Canton Township, Westridge Estates, like I said, is one of the premier communities. That's where the subject property was. Showed you a little bit about Cherry Hill Village. And last but not least, this is about a 5-minute drive from Westridge in the center of Canton here. So we're in front of the Summit, which is a pool, workout facility, all that good stuff. Behind that is a park. Tons of soccer fields and different stuff. The other side of that, all in the same campus here, is going to be one of the township's library, the township building, the police department, and behind Nick and around this whole thing is Pheasant Run Golf Course, which is also owned by the township. So this is about 5 minutes from Westridge, but if you're thinking about moving to Canton, or if you're thinking about different areas in Southeast Michigan, the center of Canton here is kind of where a lot of things a lot of things are happening. There's fireworks over here, you have the golf course, you have the workout facility, the pool, soccer fields. I mean, the list goes on and on and on, and this is sort of like the center of town of Canton Township, of where you want to be. As you can see, it's a beautiful spring day, trees are green, it's a beautiful time of year. It's absolutely gorgeous today, but you get to enjoy this type of facility in Canton Township and some of our other surrounding communities as well too. So we definitely wanted to show you the house itself, the subdivision, but also what is it like to live in Canton Township. You're 5 minutes from Ford Road. Canton Center is right here as well too. That takes you in and out of town. It's all the shopping your heart desires, and IKEA, Kroger, Meyer, Target, all that good stuff goes on for miles and miles off Ford Road. Michigan Ave isn't far from here as well too. Like I said, Canton, you're 25 minutes to Ann Arbor, 35 minutes to Detroit, right in the center of town. This is a very, very sought out area. So Canton Township, Living in Detroit channel, comment below. What did you like about this video? Of course, what didn't you like? We get a lot of those as well too. My name is Matt Talbot. My team is the Talbot team. This is Living in Detroit. If you are moving to Southeast Michigan, definitely holler at us soon.